Love you too. Christy, hi baby. Hello, hello. Hi guys, welcome in, welcome in. I didn't do a scheduled one this week. I felt like impromptu. Hi Esme, how are you, sweetie? Yes, I know who you are. I packed your order. Thank you guys so much for the awesome support, by the way. This has been an amazing, amazing week. Busy, but amazing. Oh, hello, guys. Thank you for coming in. All right. Since this is recorded, I want to make sure I make the best use of the time. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Jess. We have a lot to cover today. So we're going to be on for a little bit. Just like, we typically do about 2 to possibly 3 hours, but I am recording everything. So if you guys have to step away for dinner, you have to step away for whatever reason, everything is being recorded. It is going to go on the article place. You guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you're new here, hi, I'm Sasha. I help bead crafters take their inventory and make it into products that sell. So what I am doing is everything. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. Good. Because we got lots to do today with your kids. So what we're doing, oh gosh, what was I about to say? Shoot. Oh yeah, the recording. It is going to be on the article site. If you don't know what I'm talking about, click the link in my bio. It'll say it right at the top of my homepage. It's going to go out to all our subscribers for free. And so I always repost it with all of the links and all the resources. I don't like to mention the names of other places because I don't want to get any issues during my lives. I want to make sure as many people get to see this because it is important now that some of you already have the kit in your hand. I want to make sure we go over all the information, even though I provide training and everything. I know a lot of us get really excited and just want to jump in. So that's why I wanted to make sure I did this. As you guys were getting these, we're going to keep doing more and more of these types of lives that are interactive so that you have the ability to see what it is that you're doing with it, how to do it, how to use it in different ways, not just your standard pen style, but create those interactive characters differently. So I'm going to do my best to look at comments as they're coming in. But let's talk a little bit about the kit, go over it, what it is. For those of you who are new, I've never seen this before. We launched on Thursday of last week here on TikTok, the Chibi SnapCharm interchangeable magnetic pen topper system. I know it's a mouthful, but basically the SnapCharm allows us to take our bead pens. We have a patent pending build for our base bead, and it lets us take our characters and create a magnetic connection to it so that it stays on. We can shake it. We can do it whatever we need. If we're writing feverishly, like Hamilton or something, we are able to continue using it. I always show it off like this just so you guys can see. If you're seeing them on these are character stands, right? Because whenever we collect something, I'm a collector. My husband loves to collect stuff too. We want our characters not to just be laying down on a table, right? And because of the magnet that you would be attaching to the character, you don't want it to just be wobbly and then not be able to stand up. So what we did was in our kit, which a lot of you said you've received already starting yesterday, actually, or day before yesterday. What we did was we included 5 base magnet beads. So these are the ones that are our patent pending design. There is an embedded magnet in there. It is not your typical refrigerator magnet at all, which is why I made that TikTok, because a lot of people were interested in buying just the magnet toppers, or not the toppers, I'm sorry, the base beads. And I know that some people want to try to shortcut it and think like, okay, I'll just grab my refrigerator magnets and stick it under my thing. And that's not the way it works, because you can't, when I tell you I tested everything thoroughly, there's a reason I did that, because I tried to do it with refrigerator magnets too, and they don't work. The hold is trash. The magnets break easily. And so, hi, Melly. Hi, love. And so what we're doing, or what we created, was a system that works together with a base magnet that you attach to your character. We added a spacer here just for decor, right? Whenever we're doing our beautiful bead pens, we love our spacer, so it hides that metal rod and the unsightly, standard stuff that comes with the pen. And so even though it has a spacer, it still has the ability to stick so that we can write and do what we need to do without our topper falling off. But most importantly, what this system does is it answers the question of making your bead pens collectible, not just a cute thing to have, right? Because anybody can make a cute thing to have, which is why the industry has been so saturated with everybody making cute things that you can have. But then guess what? This is it. This is the design for life if it was stuck on my pen. Now you have the ability to create an interchangeable system, meaning now your inventory where you have a collection of certain characters or certain designs like dragons or any of those kind of things, you can actually create a collectible set for someone, okay? I want you guys to think of this like any collection item that you've picked up, whether it's a Labubu, whether it was in the 80s with Beanie Babies. I mean, pick an option. I've spent thousands of dollars on LOL surprise for my daughter, and I kid you not, like that was her thing, right? So absolutely no reason why your designs that you spend time creating and prototyping and perfecting can't be something that someone collects. And a lot of you have probably followed me because you saw the Mario set that I did. That there's a reason for it, right? Because you can do that. You can create sets that invite people to want to collect your design. You don't have to now sell one pen, one topper, and that's it. I can sell you a character, and then guess what? You can collect the other ones, or I can go and do mystery bags, right? Some of my characters in that Mario set have rhinestones. Those are my rares or my super rares. You can mystery bag them, or you can make it a full-on collectible series where you do create one, and that's the one that gets sold. So you're making unique pieces of art that you can sell for hundreds of dollars. I know you guys are probably like, there's no way. Yes, there is. I've already been offered literal hundreds of dollars for my entire Mario set. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and this is your first time here, let me take you on a quick tour. This is my Mario set. I have quite literally a pen and accompanying characters that have rhinestones for my rare ones with display cases you can use, and each pen coordinates with the characters. So this is, if I created this and sold this for like $300, $400, there are people willing to pay for that because it is one of a kind. Unless you literally have everything and you've done everything exactly like I did, you're not going to duplicate this. I have all my branding on my pens, which I will be showing you guys today. So that's made by me. I've branded that. So nobody else can come in and say, oh, this is my idea, right? This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So this is what this system addresses. It gives you the opportunity to create a unique collection for your pen toppers and for your designs. You can focus now on creating a collection versus a single pen. Another thing that I talked about during the launch was now you can actually dive into creating a a monthly series where every month your system includes a pen and however many other characters someone wants. Think of it like your circle bottles, right? I have a circle bottle, but I can pick 20 different flavors that I get every month and change them up every month. Why can't you do the same with your pens that you sell? Make one base pen every month that fits the aesthetic of that month, and then you can have a collectible series that you do, whether it's a character, whether it's butterflies, flowers, dragons, little piggies, pick your collection, right? And it all depends, like you will always hear me say, who you are targeting. Who is your market that you are going to target? Don't build and buy a bunch of stuff and then expect somebody to understand what it is that you do and what you sell. If your designs are focused to who you're targeting, the people that want to actually buy this, that's what they're going to want. Shaz, they're 24 and it comes with everything that you're seeing here. If you click on the link on my bio, everything is there. I also have expansion packs for the characters and the base beads, but it comes with 5 character stands. So it gives you the ability to create 5 unique pens, 2 characters per pen with an extra character stand. Because at the end of the day, as a customer, I want one on my pen and one that I can have on the stand at any given time, right? You're not just going to have a plain pen. So what I do, and by the way, when there, for those of you who have already purchased it, what I want you guys to do is do the same thing I do on my marketing videos to show people how effective this thing is and how amazing it is. You quite literally have your characters and just be like, how awesome is it if I were just to be like, boop, let me just continue on writing. All right, I'm tired of Karopi. Come on, Zero, let's go. I mean, doing that at a craft show, you will be the talk of the show, okay? So understand that when I mentioned, and I told you guys early last week, that I was building something that was going to change how we look at bead pens forever. This is the thing that I created. And thank you so much, Shaz, I appreciate it. It is something that is manageable, doable. Now you can start moving your inventory along faster because now you're selling collectible characters, not just 1 pen per character, which means less having to buy bulk beads and bulk items, right? Because you're thinking, oh my God, what if they want it in green? And now you're having to buy a 50 assortment of green, purple, red, yellow just to get the one color you need, which is the only thing I really don't like about the industry. It's too many mixed colors of this when I just want the one thing, which is why everything that I show you guys is how to make your own. So you just make what you need for your market. So, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Toxic Era. She's amazing. Love, love, love. By the way, my 3D sign, guys. Here, let me unplug my thingy here. My 3D sign, that came from the Toxic Era. They do some beautiful, beautiful work. I love it. Love it, love it. All right. So I want to start getting into a couple of things, which is best practices. Okay. So you got your kits. Everything is separated for a reason. These are very strong magnets. Like I said, these are not your refrigerator magnets. These are very, very strong magnets. And that's the reason why our pens are so effective, or our system is so effective at holding the characters in place. You can write with them. You can twirl them around. I mean, they're not flying off, y'all. They're not coming off of this. So I will be showing you guys how to do one from start to finish. I got 2 super cute characters here. And I have my, matching little pen. And we're going to talk specifics, right? Bead rod sizes. What's the best practice for that? We're going to talk about magnet safety, which that's going to be important for this, especially if you're selling the system out or the completed version of the system to your customers. It's important that you include now a magnet safety warning because that is going to be a part of it, right? So there's warning labels that I do sell on my site. There's the magnet and the choking hazard. The choking hazard, by the way, if you're not doing this already, you are putting yourself up to a lot of liability. Any bead pen that has ever been created is a choking hazard. You sell it to moms who have children, anybody that has little ones or pets. If these fall apart, you have no control over how someone uses it. If they fall apart, they can be a choking hazard. So protect your business, protect yourself. Make sure your warnings are on your packaging. And for those of you who don't have it, need it, I actually added that as part of our offering on our site. So you can have like different colors we have different color labels and everything, and I'll send it out with your systems, but we do have that option there built in. So going back to the system, you get 5 base beads, right? These are base magnetic beads. They already have the system in place. They already have a hole drilled. It fits every Abby, yes, he's so cute. And this is the best part. You ready? And he doesn't fall off. Now you can have a custom bead pen with Zero. Let me see if I can, there he is. So if you're collecting and you're a an avid fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Or you've got a target market that loves this kind of stuff, this is how you would sell it. You could do the character pair ups. This is why I have the character duos on the site, right? So it's easy, turnkey, just pop them on, good to go. If you guys are creating your own from your characters, this is a great way to do it, right? Showcase what it can do and the fact that they are collectible, right? The character stand, let's one of them stand and the other one hang on the pen. All right, so going back to safety, make sure all of your packaging also has magnet and choking hazard safety on it. With the 5 character stands that come in here, underneath you'll find a handmade by yours truly handmade resin pen. This is your design wand. Now the purpose of this is 2 purposes. If you guys have ever seen my packing videos, I love tools that have multi-purposes. Okay, the reason I do is because 1, it holds your bead in place. Sylvia, thank you so much for your order, sweetie. It holds the bead in place so you can design, do your thing, you know, just like our bead reamer tools. The only difference is our bead reamer tools don't fit going all the way through, so it's not going to be affected. So we had to create another tool that worked with it. So we have a, and it's by the way, it's magnetized. The tip is magnetized, so it not only holds the bead, it screws in just like you would on a bead pen, get it all designed. And then when you're done, you pull out one of the little containers. Yes, we individually have the magnets. I don't need y'all struggling, because trust me when I tell you, just to separate these things, it's a struggle. My poor husband has been working on this for a while, and he's like, oh my God. So we don't want you guys to struggle with this. So we individually packed each one into their own little pot for that reason. Inside, you'll see that they have a notch, whether it's a dot, a notch, it's an indicator. That's the indicator that needs to face you. It's why it's facing out, and you want it to attach to that particular piece of the design tool, I should say. Oop, I don't need you connecting. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Oh, okay, sorry about that. So you can hold onto it individually. So there's nothing stopping you from holding onto it individually. You can do that. Just always make sure you don't have it connected to another one, because see, even from the outside, they'll stick, right? So keep everything in its place. It won't, you won't have any issues. But when you're getting ready to apply it, you want to make sure you point the tool to it. You can move it around if you need to so that the item is flat on the end of the tool. And the goal is, once you add the adhesive that you're going to use, I'm always hands down going to recommend this particular jewelry and metal glue. It's perfect because now we're doing 2 things in here. We've got the metal from the magnet, and we're going to have a surface that could be resin. It could be the fuzzy one. I also have the super glue part here too. Now this one's a little more liquidy, which works great to add a base onto your characters that have that flocked or fleeced design. So it creates like a thin layer that you can then use the jewelry and metal glue to work off of without wasting product. So in the training video, by the way, that you will see, because I have that little sticker in everyone's kit, but I also emailed everyone this morning that information. So if you purchased a kit, you got an email as well. But the training is free. It's open. It's self-paced. I have a full video series. I have all the warnings, all the information in there for you guys, and even business information on how to market this to your customers. But the goal is we put a little bit of glue after we've buffed the surface of the item. And then we put the magnet on. We obviously have our gloves on, which we will do here shortly. And then you can separate and let the item dry. I love our silicone pen holders for this reason. because they're flexible. So if I need my character to stay in place so while it dries and cures, I want this sucker to stay in place. I don't want him out of there. So I've used this for all the character duels that we've created. Hi, Kaylin. Hi, sweetie. And so this is going to be instrumental with the design process. If you have your own way of holding up your characters, fantastic. But if you don't, consider getting these and we do have it in our shop, by the way, because it holds your character in place and in the position you lay it. So that means the magnet cures onto the character without it shifting or, anything moving or touching it. Making sure that you give enough room between characters when you're drying them so that the magnets don't just knock together, okay? Once again, strong magnets. That is like the bottom line here with everything we talk about. Everything has a strong magnet, so we want to keep that in place. All right, so we're going to start from scratch. Let's create our characters here. We're going to go through the process together. So let me move some of these items here. All of these characters. Oh, that was the other thing. Our system is polarized in the same direction for every bead that you're going to receive. Meaning, whether you sell your customer a pen today, 6 months from now, a year, 2 years from now, they will still be able to use the pen that they bought from you, let's say a year ago, and add on a new character that matches perfectly well with their pens. So the polarity is the exact same for the base bead, and it is why we have the indicator for the for the character magnets. Now, we're already working on an even easier way to attach these and leverage these and put them onto your characters that wouldn't even involve the tool, but the tool is still going to come in handy because you need it for your base bead for your designs. All right, so let me move some of my stuff here. Look at that. You see what I mean? It's like we have we have thoroughly tested these, guys. This is not what's that called? Like a sideshow or any of those like type of things. It's like legit. This will work as you're expecting. It does have the hold. The recommendation, which is not just from a character recommendation, it is from just standard practice, y'all, because I know some people want to create some gorgeously beautiful, large pens. But at the end of the day, if I'm spending $25, $30, $40 on this beautiful pen, I better be able to write with it, okay? I see a lot of creators create these pens that look like they weigh at least 5 pounds. I'm not writing with a 5-pound pen, all right? The rule of thumb is the pen shouldn't weigh more than about 1.5 to maybe the max being 2 ounces. Okay. I know you're thinking like, Sasha, how are you even like capable of doing it? This is a silicone topper. You see how I'm using all of these beads, all of this stuff, and I'm using a blingy one. By the way, get yourself a little scale. But if you're measuring your pens, and this one might be a little too heavy, and I'll tell you exactly my options here, right? But look at that, 1.1 ounce, right? I can write with that. But the moment this thing gets to like almost 2 ounces, I can guarantee you it's going to hurt to write with that pen. Your hand will cramp up. You guys have to remember, we don't have, unless we're like bodybuilders that sit there and do that like pumping thing with their hands, we're not doing that, y'all. So you have to design your pens for your customers. And guess what? 99% of them are going to want to use it. They're not just going to want to leave it on a pen holder forever and a day as a decoration. Otherwise, they would have just bought a figurine. If they're buying a pen, it's because they want to use it. Make it usable for them to use. Make it so that they can actually write with it without their hand cramping up, and that they're excited to use it every day. All right, enough of the soapbox. Let's get to creating. Oh, by the way, even our shaker beads that we offer, like especially when you have the underneath part, like you can make it like ASMR-y. Like you can do the ASMR and it'll still stick and everything. So just heads up on that one, y'all. You can make some amazing stuff. And my motto, if you already have something, Use what you have. Do not sit there and go buy thousands of dollars of toppers because you think you need XYZ. Weigh out, like literally weigh the characters that you have, right? Let me zero that out. Let's say you bought all of these little rainbow girl, and I know what she's called, but you know, IP and stuff. Let's say you get your characters and you weigh them one at a time. Oh, this thing is not even. I know I'm not doing it on an even surface, so bear with me, y'all. There we go. She is 0.3 ounces. Okay. Do that for the character sets. That all you need to do is just weigh one. If you have like 20 of the same character, you don't have to weigh every single character. Just weigh one of that design. And as long as you're keeping it from 0.6 ounces and below, you'll be fine. You'll be good because your character is not going to take over the weight of the pen, making it hard to write. And it balances it out. Think about all the pens that you guys have designed where you've probably made it a little too top heavy and you're literally sitting like this with the pen like dragging down because it's you have a heavy character on top. Once you start weighing the characters you currently have, by the way, you'll literally go to a store and you'll be like, oh, that's too heavy, or oh, that's perfect. If you end up buying characters at a store, that is. Okay, cool. That's number one. So weight, keep it 0.6 ounces and below for your characters. That's also the best and max hold too for, I wouldn't say max. I do have some that are a little bit heavier, but it's what I've tested that works the most efficient as well, is 0.6 ounces and below for your characters. Second, my rule of thumb when it comes to bead rods, okay? I don't know if you all have heard this before. I haven't heard it from anybody. I literally came up with it myself. But if someone else has said this and you've heard it, then kudos to them for being smart as well. General standard in design, okay? This is 72 millimeters. This is the one that comes with every single bead pen you probably buy in the market. This is 97 millimeters. This one's 117. The rule of thumb should always be the bigger the character, the smaller the rod. Why? Well, if I have a big character on my pen rod, right? And you have to include the pen, you have a perfectly balanced pen. Too long, it drags your hand down. Too short, if it's like here we go. Too short, it feels like they're getting they're getting the bare minimum. So I always say the bigger the character, because at the end of the day, these guys are the focal piece, right? Our supplemental beads, these beads are all supplemental. They should not be the focus of your pen. When I get a pen, I want my character to be the focus. That is what's going to sell this pen. So I don't need somebody writing with this. And even though Jack doesn't weigh a ton, guess what? I feel it, like legit. I feel it because I already have the weight of my supplemental beads adding to the pen overall. So from this perspective, I do a lightweight. So like this would be something great for like a 0, right? 0. Oh, fantastic. It's not, see, it's like a lot looser. It's not that bad. And at the end of the day, I can still write and do everything I need to without him falling off. But add Jack, because he is balanced a little different, he's higher, always use a lower rod. So if overall your characters are between a medium size or a small size, then go ahead and use the medium or large rod. But the moment your character hits that bigger height, right? In comparison, let's look at the comparisons, right? This is small, AKA like your durables. That should be a large rod. Or excuse me, yes, a large rod. The bigger characters, smaller rod. Your medium characters, the medium rod. And you can still balance out with your medium rod on your smaller ones. Just get like I know that there's some that are like durables that are like a little bit bigger than the typical ones. That's perfect for your medium rod, right? So that's just my rule of thumb when it comes to these bead rods. I don't know if you've heard, like I said, I don't know if you guys have heard this from anybody else, but that's just my rule of thumb. For this particular design that I'm doing, she's a little bit taller. He's pretty good size. So if I take, Jack as my measurement, she's kind of up there with Jack. He's kind of there with the middle one. I can balance them both out on the middle, but I can guarantee that even if I use the middle rod, like already I can see how much taller she's going to be. So we're going to stick to our standard rod for this one. And this is all stuff, guys, you'll learn as you're creating stuff. It'll come second nature. You'll be able to quickly do your designs and your stuff with your, oh, thank you, sweetie. You'll be able to do all of your designs and everything with your kit and your pens once you start recognizing and looking at design aspects, not just the aesthetic, not just how cute it is, but actually taking into account the aspects of your design, the specifics of how you're designing your stuff. Because like I said, at the end of the day, as much as you're thinking, oh my God, yes, it's because this is what I like. Who is your target market? Who are you selling to? And will they be okay with you putting a large rod that weighs over 2 to 3 ounces and drags their hand down? They won't. They won't buy another pen from you. They won't care about the fact that you have a collection. Okay. I don't only teach you guys how to do stuff on, making cool creations. I teach you the business aspect of it. You need to make this as repeatable as possible. It's harder to continually go after and find new customers, and it costs you more than to have repeat business. Repeat business only comes if they have a great experience with your product. So make sure that happens day one with your product. All right, cool. I want to keep these out here in case I get somebody new that wants to know what the heck I'm doing. All right. So let's start with the basics. I know in some of my packing videos, I talk to you guys about my bead reamers. I love them. Why? Because they have a filing tip on them. Doesn't matter if it's PVC, rubber, whatever. Buff the surface. We don't know what oils are used. The magnets themselves are a width of 8 millimeters, but you also need to account for the design aspect of it, okay? So the dog is a perfect example. My magnet teeters between his legs there. Like you can see that if I put it on one side, it's lopsided. If I put it on another, it's lopsided. That can happen with your characters, and you can control that. One way to do it is to put a little bit of a blob of glue, let it dry, and it'll kind of create a surface. One other thing I personally like to do, depends if you guys want to do this too, or if you have the tools for it. I like to use rhinestone glue. They sell it in bottles. Don't get the bottles, get the gel because it's more controllable. So this one's going to be a 2-step process for your glues. And by the way, this would happen regardless of whether it was magnet or not, especially if you're putting any type of, system underneath any of these kind of characters. You're going to want to make sure you have an even surface. I show that as well. I have one of my videos where I showcased the dragons that I've done. I'm just trying to see if I have one of my dragons here. But, oh, here we go. But when you have your dragons, like these are brooches that were turned into dragons, they have resin. I fill the cavity with resin, and then I scratch the surface of the resin so I could adhere my magnet. So keep in mind, not every surface for every character is going to be ideal. It's not going to be like polished perfect with nothing in between. You know what I mean? You're going to have the occasional character that has some kind of bevel type underneath part, like bottom part. And that can happen with any character. It happens literally with any character. Always wear your gloves, y'all. Whether you're working with resin, glue, rhinestone gels, whatever you want to call it, wear your gloves. This stuff, it might say non-toxic. It might say no. We don't know everybody else's health conditions and stuff. Some people cannot be around certain chemicals and items. And if you can't even, if let's say you can't get near any of this kind of stuff, you could use a little bit of things like liquid fusion and just kind of blob it right in the middle, let it dry so that it's an even surface before you apply your magnet. Okay. Yeah, check the bio. It'll take you to where you guys can get the kit and look at the expansion packs that we have, because we do have expansion packs for the characters. If you have, let's say, a 5 or 6 piece character set that you're selling off as a collection, that's what that's for. All right, so I start with an even surface, and then I'm going to cure that. This is just helps move things along faster. So for this process, I am going to need a brush. You know, it's funny because this brush came with my rhinestones, and I literally bought like a pack of rhinestones with every color and everything for my craft room. And I'm like, I'm keeping all of these little brushes because they're great for my rhinestone gels. So basically, you know, you guys can grab any kind of gel you want. I like this Beetles brand because it's thicker, but grab a little glob of it. And I spin it, y'all, so it doesn't give me that weird webbing. And you're going to want to place it underneath your character to kind of level out that surface. I can already see it's building there. Perfect. Perfect. And the best part about this is it's not going to stop me from adhering a magnet to it at all. All right. Now, another thing too, characters like these with the gaps, funny enough, they can actually you can actually put the magnet on it and cure it, because it will stick to not only the character, but the magnet as well. Just keep in mind, they have to have the gap if you're going to do that. I'm going to do it just to show you guys you can do it. You see? It's already like, I got it leveled in there. I've got glue under there. Like you can see the rhinestone glue under there. But it'll only work this way because there's a gap and the UV light can get through. Oops, I almost pointed it down. Don't want to do that, y'all. All right. So as long as it can see through, right, underneath the legs of the dog, it will cure the magnet onto the dog. So that's a shortcut, by the way. You don't necessarily have to use the glues with the ones that have the gaps like that. That would have your magnets uneven. I will show you guys every single option, okay? Even if you don't have the glues, if you have rhinestone gel, use it. The only time I would never recommend you using it is on the flat surface, because your light, your UV light, it can't reach the center of that bead. Through this way, it can, because of the fact that it's exposed with that gap underneath. So it's exposed by the gap underneath the dog. So I'm curing it through that method. But if it was flat on the dog, I would not be using rhinestone gel at all. That's where jewelry glue works fantastic. And you can move it around and see it's not coming off. Like this is good now. I put it on my thing. It's not coming off. It's only sliding because it's sliding on my hand from I have the glove on. Okay. So you've got that on there. All right. Oh, see, I should have let that cure a little more. It popped off on me. It was still needing to dry a little more. That's on me. I kept on demonstrating without the light hitting. But you guys get the point. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. Let's get that back in there. This is why we do it live, so you guys can see that even people who know what they're doing tend to forget that they have to follow the process and not just sit there and remove the light mid-curing. All right, there we go. Let me put it over here real quick. I'm going to put it on my actual stand here. There we go. We want it on there. Get in there. All right. And we do have some in there. There we go. Let's get that off of there. Now, at the end of the day, by the way, even if you do it this way, keep in mind, this is not meant for jewelry type glue like this. This is great for nails and stuff like that. But what you absolutely want to make sure you do is let that cure first. Use jewelry and metal glue to actually adhere it to the entire surface. Okay, so let's do it the way I was originally going to show you, because I don't want this thing to pop off again. So I am going to cure it. Where's my curing? There it is. I am going to cure it just so that it gives us that even surface. By the way, if you're using something that's flocked like what you saw with the Jack and the Zero, I wouldn't use rhinestone gel to create that barrier. Use a little bit of standard glue. Let it dry like a thin film and then put your magnet on there. I did that for Jack and it worked perfectly. It didn't pop off. As you can see, I've been using him this entire time. The magnet did not pop off, but I needed a way for there to be a rough surface. And even with the, even with scratching it, it didn't work. Like the super glues just sank right into the flocked fabric, and it didn't stick. The actual magnet did not stick. It wasn't until I had a layer of super glue on the surface of the Jack already dried through that the magnet adhered perfectly well with that jewelry and metal glue. Okay, so now we have a flat, even surface. Now we're gonna use our jewelry and metal glue. Move that off to the side. Don't need this anymore. Let me move my other magnet back in its case. Okay, so we're going through this step by step, right? I have my magnet. I have my wand, which comes in the kit. We want to add it to the surface. So the surface is dry now. Before I even get near this magnet and do anything with it, we want to add our jewelry and metal glue. If you guys have a super glue, like a Loctite, those kind of things also work, by the way. You don't have to buy any of this glue if you already have your own. Nope, I need to poke a hole in there. Give me 1 sec. There we go. So you'll notice this gel, this comes out like a gel. So even like the Gorilla Glues, all of those work great. So if you have, especially Gorilla Glue, that's right up there with this glue here. So if you have these glues, please don't spend the money buying more. Just use what you have. But it's got to be the gel. Why the gel? It won't run off. Hence why I used rhinestone gel. It doesn't run off. Where standard little rhinestone glues in a bottle are liquidy, they will run off. Okay? We want the magnet facing, or the notch facing us. Like I said, you could use this. In the training video, I'm going to show you the different methods, but I will always recommend when you're using something, when you're using this on any of the items, if you're using your gloves, fantastic. You don't need to use the wand. You want to use the wand, great. Use it as a guide. But you're going to use your fingers, like your pointer and your thumb finger, to be able to hold the magnet down so you can remove the wand. If not, you're literally just going to sit there and wait until it's got enough stick to be able, like enough of that sticking power to be able to remove it. All right, I'm just changing up my gloves because I made a little bit of a mess on my hands with the rhinestone gel. Okay, there we go. So this is the method you're going to see on the training video on the site. You pop it on there, hold it, and then lift. That's it. That sucker can stay there for the next hour, because that's another reason I really like this glue. Within an hour, it'll have the adhesion you need to be able to then add a little glue on the outside and add a spacer to it. Now, the spacers that work great are your 12 millimeter and your 14. I include the 14 because it gives us a little extra room and it doesn't affect the height of your magnet. The magnet height is 2 millimeters. So if you're using rhinestones, your 3 millimeter rhinestones are probably they're just going to be a little too big. So do your 2 millimeter rhinestones if you're going to use rhinestones to decorate the edge. Let me show you one that I did with rhinestones, which was part of that Mario set. So because my star from Star Road was like this one was like a unique design for this set, I wanted to make sure that the base of it matched the pen. So what I did was I added rhinestones around the edge of the magnet so that when it, there we go. So when it attached to the top of the pen, it made it seamless. And the star in the middle is also unique because it's got the glitter UV gel on it. So I made this one different. I added my gold branding. Like I said, add your branding to your designs, y'all. Please stop leaving your pens with no branding so it looks like everybody else's. Add your branding. I am adding the link of where I got these. This lady is on this site and she's probably like, oh my God, like where am I getting all these orders from? And it's coming from you guys. I don't get anything from it. I haven't even reached out to her to say anything to her, but this is just standard, y'all. Make it pretty. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be gaudy. It doesn't have to be like so out there, but you can make it super simple, like a dangle type jewelry piece. And your branding is always on your designs. That way nobody else can take credit for your stuff. But I loved that I could still add rhinestones. I didn't always just have to use spacers. And so you can do that with these magnets. But I'm giving you guys that design info so that you know exactly what size it is. It's 2mm rhinestones. All right. The only time I would ever recommend, Belinda, thank you so much for your order, sweetie. If you're using 3mm is if it's going to give you the room on the top part of the character, right? So if you put the base of the 3mm down here and you have extra room at the top, fine, use your 3mm, not a problem. But if you have a flat surface and then you're going to put your flat character on top of that part of the magnet, you're going to need to use 2mm. Okay. All right. And by the way, this is all recorded. I am, like I said, posting the final recording on our article site. So click the link in my bio, sign up for free if you haven't, on that article site that's on my homepage. And when I post it tomorrow, I don't like to give exact times when I post it because if I get really busy, I normally post it before the end of the day. And I say end of the day, not 5 p.m. work day, but like before I go to bed, like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I try to get it out to you guys. So if you're a free subscriber, you'll get it via email. If you have the app, you'll get a notification. So there's that. Okay. So you guys saw my Rainbow Road. And by the way, if you stayed on this long and you heard me initially say that I have gotten offers to buy the entire series for hundreds of dollars, there's a reason for it. So this is the original prototype design. It is the only one with the reverse polarity of our system, our patent pending system. So it is the only one in existence with the reverse polarity. These will never work on any other design that we have. They will repel. So keep that in mind when I'm not telling you guys to do reverse polarities, but you know, this is why I say it's important to have collectible items because people will see what you create and want to keep getting more and more. If that business model was dead, we would not, to this day, we wouldn't have any Labubus or any of these other mystery type boxes. Like take a choice. Like I go to the comic book shop with my husband all the time and there's like literal boxes and boxes of mystery bags. You know, even your Doorables have a little mystery bag and we keep buying them because they're so amazing and they're awesome, right? So keep that in mind. You don't have to be stuck with the standard design of your bead pens anymore, right? It doesn't mean throw away all your designs, right? You can sell them. You can still do that. You can even take that piece apart at the top of your older pens and attach one of the beads. I sell the expansion packs separately too. So now you can have a top base bead, which you can decorate however you want. And you can retrofit your pens to this new system. Okay. Okay. So that little sucker's drying. let's start working on our pen. We're going to give it a few more minutes. I normally like to wait an hour, but I love this glue because it does have that adhesion property. Like within 30 minutes, it'll actually do pretty well. However, in the meantime, it has already sat for a few minutes. When you're using glues, by the way, if you're using this one, I love it because it's a plastic tip, so it's not going to attract the magnet. I have tested it with like rhinestone gels with those precision tips. The problem with these, if you guys know, some of you are probably already like, I already know where she's going with this. Precision, I'm trying to say it right. Precision tips have a metal tip and they are typically magnetic. If you don't believe me, here you go. It sticks. It's stuck. See? It sticks to it. And not because there's rhinestone gel on there, but for the fact that it has a magnetic tip. So be careful if you're using these. Let your magnet dry out first. If you're going to use this around and use it like with rhinestones, for example, you can use this with rhinestones, rhinestone gel on the rhinestones around the metal. Not a problem. It'll work. Fantastic. However, if you don't let it dry to the time that it needs to dry, that metal tip can pull the magnet off of your character. So just standard practice. Work on the other piece of the pen while, this one is getting at least a little dry. Now, the other thing I mentioned was when you, like the decor that you want to add around it, if you're not going to use rhinestones and you want to use a spacer, you can use a 12 millimeter spacer. It will be a little bit of a tight fit, right? And you might have to like kind of push it down. But the 14 millimeter is the one I found that works the best because not only does it give it plenty of room, I know that the glue is sticking to the sides of it and it's not going to fall off at all. For everyone because today's the last day of launch week. I launched this last Thursday. So if you get a kit, I do include as part of your reward upgrade a 10 pack of spacers to fit the 10 pack of character magnets that you have in the kit. So each of your characters will have their spacer designed to it. All right. So we can now put it on there. Let's get it in there. And I like to do this, by the way. I like to wiggle it around just so that I know it's got enough glue. It's good to go. Let's pop our character back on. And I'll repeat the same with her. Okay, now her, I don't need to worry about the rhinestone gel or any of that. If you have a character with two legs like this, pick one. Pick a leg for them to use, and that's the leg that they're going to have. So her left leg is what we're picking. There is an option too that you can do with the two-legged ones. I have like these, and I'll link them on the article. So there's these little, and these are magnetized, by the way. They are magnetic, I guess you can say. So the way this would work with something like this, if you wanted to have your character on a platform so that their legs stay together, you can use something like this, but keep in mind the magnet that is there for the character needs to adhere to that metal plate. You can't bypass using this for a metal plate. There's just not enough magnetic hold for the base to do this. So trust me, I tested it. I've done it all, y'all. I've been working on this for a while. This is the reason why I finally launched it, because I was able to successfully use it in a concurrent manner without any issues. And so when I tell you, yes, you can use a magnetic plate, do not replace the plate for your magnet. It still needs to go attached. You still need to add your decor so you can hide that magnet piece underneath it. But you can keep the legs of those characters stuck together so that they're not, wobbly or anything like that. They won't be really with the magnet, but people love aesthetically, aesthetically, oh God, what's that called? Like almost like the OCD of making sure everything is uniform, right? That uniformity. All right. For this example, we're not doing that. We're going old school. We're going to have her hanging on with one leg. All right. So for my leg, we said her left leg was the one I did the filing. So we're going to file just a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. Just file it. I like to dust it. I already took the cap off of this thing. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a little bit of that gel glue to the foot, right? You don't want it running off or anything like that. When you're placing your character on whatever you're putting it on, I'm using our silicone pen holder. You can split it. Like if you're doing 3 characters, 1, 2, and 3, give them at least 2 fingers of space, at least 2 fingers of space, preferably 3, because that won't give it too much. But like, for example, if I did 2 fingers of space here, her leg is right next to this magnet, so I would flip her the other way. Always keep that in mind. Proximity matters when it comes to characters and the magnets. Y'all, I didn't build it with a strong magnet for no reason. I don't want your customers having a bad experience, because at the end of the day, you might build it perfectly fine, but if it fails, from a perspective of you're using the wrong glue or whatever, that they're going to look at that from your perspective, because you are the designer, you are the creator, right? The system can only do so much. At the end of the day, you are the one that creates that design. All right, so she's got hers. Puppy's got his. And like I said, I can continue designing and adding some glue around her, so around the legs, so that I can add that spacer and just kind of let them dry a little bit more while we design the base pen. If you guys have any questions, now's the best time to ask. We'll go over some additional aspects on the business side and just overall design side of things. Like I said, I know some of you have already started getting your kits and you're excited to start using them. Make sure to please go through the training course. I know for some of you who have followed me for a while, you know that my life's work and what I do for a living is to be a trainer. I have some videos in there. I didn't want to sit there and make an entire documentary on everything. So some stuff is written down for you. Use it as a checklist. Use it however you need to remind you of the best practices for your toppers. But keep in mind, the character weight is important. Nothing over 0.6 ounces. If you're at a store and you're not sure, remember, first off, check their return policy, because if it doesn't work for your system, you're not going to want the character. And if you have inventory, check what you have first. Grab a food scale, weigh it. If it's 0.6 ounces and under, you're good to go. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Leslie. Thank you for your order. All right, so there's that. Magnets, obviously, they are super strong, y'all. Make sure you have your warnings on your packaging. I'm just repeating. I know a lot of the stuff that I said earlier in the call. I have this style. It's a combined one. I do sell the magnet warnings and the choking hazard warnings on our site, just so you guys have everything turnkey. If you don't want to sit there and make your own labels, we have it for you. And I have them in different colors too. Your packaging, that was the other one. So for those of you who got your package, I put the extra little organizer spacers in a separate bag, in a separate little bag behind, the kit in the bag. After you're done using this, I want y'all to use what you got. You can repurpose what you got. So I have the little spacers that you can pop back in and use it. Esmeralda, thank you so much, sweetie, for your order. I appreciate it. There we go. I had to do like that little piece of like a puzzle piece on my live. So it's like, are you still there? Like, I'm pretty sure I am. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for your support. But when you guys are done using these are, I made this stuff so it's multi-purpose use, y'all. I know you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but I love using things that are multi-purpose. These are little paint pots. So if you want to use it for your, not your gels, your UV gels, because that would mess up. But any like little paints and stuff, you can use these. They're little paint pots. You can use that. Put the little spacers back into your organizer and use it to add your beads, add like little beads and stuff that you need. The kit is to create it's for bead crafters to create magnetic pen toppers to offer collectibles to their customers, where before it's just one topper per pen. You can now sell an entire collectible series that sticks with the magnet. It doesn't fall off. You can write, you can do whatever you need to do. I'm gonna pop that one off and pop this one back on. So yeah, it revolutionizes the bead pen industry because it creates an ability for our bead crafters to be able to sell collections, sell collectibles, and create unique designs that people will keep wanting to get. Yep, of course, love. So it comes, and by the way, I've been using this kit actively. It comes with our design wand. This is a handmade resin wand. It's got the tip on here. This tip is magnetized. So when you are pulling your, here's one. When you're pulling your magnet out of its little container, these are super strong magnets. I know a lot of people think, okay, I'll just buy the base bead and I don't need to worry about the magnet. I'll just grab whatever magnets they sell. We specifically paired these. We have a specific magnet that we use. It's not your typical refrigerator magnet. And so the purpose of these is to also have that magnetized tip so that you can pull the magnet out of its little container and pop it onto your character with the glue so that it adheres to it. It also has character stands. So each of these beads can go on a pen. So that's 5 pens you can create from here with 2 characters per pen and a character stand per sold pen. So if you have, let's say, the 0 and Jack set or series that you're selling to your customer, you give them this little character stand with the kit. And now they could have, for example, Jack standing on the stand while 0 is on the pen. And then when they are like, okay, tomorrow, I feel like Jack tomorrow. I want to have a Jack day. There we go. Jack is the character of the day. And then you have, a character stand. So that's the purpose, by the way, of these character stands, guys. It's so that your collectibles feel like true collectibles. Think about how many times we've seen people with their little figurines with like literally positioning them all on a stand, like acrylic stands. You've seen them, but look how cute. Even with that, like you got the spacer, the pearl spacer. So it looks like a cute figurine. You don't see the magnet. It's not gross. We use a very super strong magnet. Our system's patent pending. So everything that we use is made, well, except for the magnet itself. I don't make rare earth metals, but we embed the magnet into our base bead, and it already has the hole built in to screw your bead rods on. It works with your standard 72 millimeter bead rods, the 97 and the 117. So all 3 work with the base bead. They all work and screw into it. It's actually a perfect width for it. You can add glue if you want. I don't have any. Oh, sorry about that. Somebody was calling me. Base beads made by you. Yes, they are. We do. Yep. Especially by the hubby. He's actually the master bead crafter over here. But everything we do, all our packaging, everything is done by hand. We even did the training by hand. But yeah, all of this is done by hand here. We have it's a little messy right now because y'all, we're not expecting the amazing support that you guys gave. We'll give these a little bit more time to dry out, but I wanted to show you guys like literally our operations have spanned even into the kitchen. So like we cleared out our food items and stuff, but Like this is where the pen station is. And then we've got our bead station, and there's the Dremel drilling, and there's the hubby. So we've got like legit our entire operations here. This is our shipping area. This is where I film all of those videos. So when I tell you guys, we do it as a family. Like this is a family operation. Thank you, Darla, sweetie. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys. Like I want you guys to understand that this means a lot to me, because it was the number one problem I know I had, was how do I make myself unique from everybody else? And just because you have the magnet system, it's not going to make you like everybody else, because not everybody is going to do this. Number one, not everybody targets the same target market. That's number two. You guys have not only seen me talk about creating cool stuff, but I teach you the business side. And I've had multiple people ask me, well, I'm new to this. What beads should I get first? None. How about that? Don't get any beads. You don't get any pens. You don't get any characters. You don't get anything until you can tell me who you're planning to sell to. If you don't have a target market in mind of who you're making these things for, you should not be buying a single thing. I have plenty of conversation. When I tell you guys, please message me, send me a message. I actually have Maria, who I have to reach back out to on WhatsApp, but I have a ton of you guys that have asked me, like, especially new people. They're like, how do I do that? What should I get? And I'm like, absolutely nothing until you can tell me who you are selling to. If you can tell me who you're selling to, what's the aesthetic, what's the design style you're thinking of, there's nothing you need to buy. So understand, I will never sit there and go, oh my God, yeah, you guys need to have all of these, because no. That's the mentality that got many of us into this in the first place, with thousands of dollars gone and nobody to sell it to because everybody else around you was selling the exact same thing. So what I created is to help set you apart from everyone else. In your target market, if you've got people who love to collect, and on top of that, who doesn't? Every target market has a collectible aspect to it, right? Darla's like my first amazing student. Like Darla legit heard my messages. Like she did everything step by step, and she found success even before the magnet system came into place, because she found her target market. She started marketing it with the aesthetics. Like I mentioned, for me, if I was selling, this kind of series stuff, and I need to know who I'm going after. Am I going after people who love Disney? Am I going after people who love like the goth type aesthetic? Am I going after people who absolutely love Halloween 24/7, right? Or Christmas with, you know what I mean? So there's options. And that's the thing nobody thinks about when they get into crafting. Who am I making this for? Oh, Vicky, I'm so happy that you're here and you're listening to this, because a lot of crafters that do content on this app and any app, it's easy to focus on how to build the widget, but nobody focuses on how to sell the thing. And that is the biggest disconnect we have in all of crafting. It's easy to buy. It's easy to build. But nobody prepares you for how to sell this. So that's my goal in life. That's why I built this thing, because I'm like, I want it to be as easy as you guys going to a craft show, seeing everybody else do the same boring stuff. And you're like, hey guys, come get your collectible. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. You can do this. You can write. You can do all your stuff. Like, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, I don't know where he has it. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. This thing is so cool that my husband actually used one of the beads. Oh, there it is. To create a unique type of painting, decor. Okay. So this is a canvas, y'all. He grabbed one of our systems, glued it. By the way, you can see the glue mark there. Okay. And now you have removable characters that you can add to painting. So this doesn't just work for pens. This works for items like this too. Sell it as a bundle. You know what I mean? Well, this is not one of the bundles, but you guys get the point, right? Yes. Thank you, Darla. And guys, I offer the training, a lot of this training for free on the article site on the homepage of so if you go to the homepage of my website, it'll take you to the article site. I can't say specifically what it is. It'll be on there. You'll see it. On my TikTok lives, the replays with the recaps in writing, because I do recaps so that you guys have the information you need without having to watch like a 3-hour long TikTok. And any links and resources that I share. Savannah, thank you so much for your order, sweetie. All of those resources literally are on there for free. Angela, thank you, sweetie, for your order. You guys are so amazing. I appreciate the support. It is amazing. Yes. Well, see, and that's the thing. People think it's expensive because what are we offering them? Think about what you're offering them, right? Think about what you're offering them. A standard pen does nothing other than, hey, it looks cool, right? Guess who else is doing that? The person on the craft table next to you, the person in the craft table across from you, the person right next to you on the right-hand side, the person behind your booth. Only the difference is the person on the right-hand side is probably adding stickers to their offering. If you're on a TikTok live, you're probably spending at least half an hour on one customer order. You know how much time that is? For them to decide whether they want a red or a blue, it's insane. I have, so I do have a paid a paid article subscriber site. Okay. And I shared with them a post that I saw on FB. Someone was selling their pens, and these are not cheap, y'all, because she had durables on them. She was selling her pens for $5 a piece. Like legit bling pens. You know what that is? That to me is someone who's literally given up because they have no idea how to sell their inventory. So even though I have this system in place, I teach you how to sell. I literally, when I launched this last week, I proved to you my system works. You know why? I gave you 1 week notification that I was coming out with something that was going to change the game. I had at least 5 of you telling me, I want to pay for it. You didn't even know what it was. I had not shared anything with you, right? I built the credibility because you are my target market. I want to work with bead crafters who want to know not only how to create cool stuff, but how to use and leverage the business to make an actual source of income for themselves and sell what they create and brand what they create so people know that it's them who created it. Yeah. So I don't just sell you on stuff. There's a lot of people that do that. I don't need to be that part of that group. Could I sell you on stuff? Heck yeah, I can. I sold you on a system before you even knew what it was and blew your minds the moment you saw what it could do. Now, one thing you will have are tons of these little suckers. I can't tell you what to do with these just yet. So if you're creative, come up with like a way to make them look like danglies. But I have tons of these little pen toppers with the with the sparkle that, and you guys think I'm joking. Like I legit do. Let me see. Like these were all from like my Mario's. My Mario sets. But I drilled all the way through and used it as a bead. Oh, look at that. That's a great. Oh, see, Evelyn's got it. So if you guys have tons of these little caps after you're using our magnet system, do what Evelyn said. Just drill all the way through because it is like a plastic piece there. And you can use it as a spacer bead. That's awesome, Evelyn. That's a great suggestion. That's amazing. See, I love our community. We learn from each other. Okay. All right, so let me close up my glue here. All right, so we want to build our base. Now, I offer, like, there's people I work with, I don't want to call it a mentorship because it's not like a formal mentorship program, but I have talked to some of you where you legitimately want to know my design advice, and I appreciate it because it's not every day that people do that, right? That they feel confident enough to be able to share their work with others and accept changes, not and constructive criticism, but changes and suggestions. A lot of us, tend to either be prideful of it or we don't want to hear it because we think someone's going to steal our design. By the way, any designs that you guys share with me, I do not share. I don't post. I don't talk about it. It isn't something that I share unless you specifically give me permission to do it. I may talk in general about stuff, but I will not mention XYZ does this type of target market. That's not on me. That's on you guys to do your stuff, right? I will boast about you and say how awesome you are and how you're killing it, but that's it. That's where I draw the line, y'all. So I definitely want to keep that out there. All right, so I love using the stuff that I create because there's a reason I do it. I create it. It just makes it easier to do stuff, right? So I still can use like standard pens and spacers and stuff. And just like any prototype process, you can sit there and explore and see what options you have. Does that work better? Does that not work better? I can barely see that one, right? Should I use a 14 millimeter spacer? Is that going to work better? Because it'll go with the aesthetic of the spacer. By the way, what I'm doing here, y'all, is there a target market you feel is more saturated than others as far as characters? So no, Vicky, you know what? You know which market is the most saturated? It's called the everyone market. The everyone market is the one where everybody tries to sell the exact same thing. And by the exact same thing, I'm talking about random characters, random themes, no collection mentality, right? Because if I'm collecting something or I'm buying a pen, for those of you who've known me long enough, please tell me what pen style you think I am going to want to build. Just off the top of your head. What do you think I am going to buy the most of, right? So if I see any one of you focus on exactly anything that's HK, especially her pink style, Lord, you've got my money. But I don't want to buy one thing. I want it to be something I can collect. As you see, I am a collector. Many of us are. Okay? Actually, every single person is. There's something that you collect, whether it's beauty items, whether it's purses, whether it's shoes. We all collect something that we love. But what we collect makes us that target market. And by the way, I know I forgot who it was. Somebody mentioned, and I'm not going to call names or anything like that, but somebody asked him and said, well, target market sounds a little harsh. It's not meant to say it in a harsh way. It's literally, it's the target, the person you are trying to reach. Okay. So it's not a harsh term or anything like that. It is just the way that it's labeled. So keep that in mind. When you are designing something, who are you making it for? If you love all of the, blingy purse, shoes, aesthetic, there are lots of people who collect that type of aesthetic, right? The women that collect shoes, the women that collect purses, that's the style of bead pens that they would absolutely love. Even if it is dust. Let me see. Little Lulu, you'd be surprised. Yes, even if it's dust. You know why? Because I could easily grab one of my shaker beads. Jesus Christ. It's okay, honey. I would grab one of my shaker beads and be like, all right, I'm going to have 5 different, a collection of different dusts from different areas. I'm going to collect dust from this hotel and I'm going to collect dust from that hotel. So if you're an avid traveler who loves to, I'm like legit. Thank you so much, sweetie. I'm legit. You can make something out of any market, but you have to market to those people. You can't just throw up a bunch of pens and expect someone from your target market to find you if you're not marketing to them. And by marketing, I'm talking about legit. If I was going after the gaming community, I'd have him in the background. I'd have a mat that had, the characters on there. I would have sand, not dust. Exactly. Sand. That's another one. Like, go to the beaches, grab some sand. And this is your beach collection, right? Your sand from your beach collections. And you don't have to travel to those places. You can legit find friends who live there and be like, yo, I will give you like $10. Can you grab a bunch of sand for me? I don't know if that's legal or not. So don't quote me on that part. Right. But you understand what I mean? Like, I at one point thought about going to like different cities, because I travel for work. So going to different cities and grabbing like really cool, like a leaf from their really cool trees and kind of like encasing them in some kind of resin, and then having like a collection of, different city plants and stuff like that encased in resin, like little resin pieces, things like that. People have state pride, military pride, right? So you're going to a craft show. We talked about this a few lives ago. You're going to a craft show and a lot of people just go, oh, I'm going to a craft show. Let me bring my crafts. There's target markets there too. Where is it happening? Who is going? Who typically attends it? Is it happening? Yes, Darla, exactly. Is it happening on a base? Is it happening near a hospital? Is it happening at a school? I have one I'm going to on Saturday. I'm not bringing a bunch of pens. I might have 5 really cool pens. But you know what I'm bringing? I'm bringing fidget keycaps. Why? Because even though parents attend this kind of school event, the kids outnumber the parents. All right. Guess what they want? I want a fidget. That's what I want. Guess what? I started down this path of bead crafting because of the fidgets. I have fidgets that I've held on to for a while because I knew eventually I was going to build something. And you guys probably have seen the video that I did where I put it on a bead pen. But at the end of the day, the kids just want to play with the fidget. Guess who's going to see this and see the really cool characters and want them? Oh yeah, you can. You can put a magnet right here. By the way, the magnet is not going to affect the battery. You put that's the next project I was going to do a video on so you guys can see it. And now you have fidgets on top of it. So it's not just about knowing who your target market is online. If you're attending craft shows, learn who attends the show. Don't just throw a ton of money going, I'm going to hope to make $1,000 at the show. So does every other pen crafter that decided to spend $200 on that table. Who are you marketing to? How are you marketing to them? Does it match what they want? Are you going to grab their attention? That's all across, whether you're doing it online or you're doing it in person. Yep. I have a video. Oh yeah, these are awesome. You can pop it onto a keyboard. I have it on mine. Here, I'll take you guys with me. Oh geez, look. Hello Kitty again. So, I love my mechanical keyboard. And I absolutely love changing my keys out. So I pop my key out. And by the way, these are the kind of things you want to do at the shows with the magnetic pens, like show how quickly it is, and you can shake your pen and do all the thing and demonstrate it. I went to a show and sold out of my keycaps, and of course, it was it was a Comic-Con, and all I did was bring my keyboard. I had 2 keyboards. I still have my other keyboard. But I brought 2 keyboards and I brought my fidgets, and I showed them multi-purpose use, right? You could pop it onto your keycap and now I can use it on my keyboard. I want to take it with me, pop it back on to my fidget and take it with me too. I only for the shows, like my target, my market, what I do is bead crafting. like legit showing you guys how to take these base beads, create your own stuff. Like still have all of those things to put up. I have like legit all of the little glitter leaf things. I have 10 colors. I have 10 colors on the site. I have, I think, about 18 in total. Like when I tell you I got a lot of stuff to put up, Now I have those already on the site, but I literally have to put a ton of stuff onto our inventory. I just focused first head on this week on your orders for the system. I needed to make sure you guys got your hands on those ASAP. So a lot of you've already started getting your orders. A lot of others, it's coming. I've already shipped. I shipped out at least 40. I've been shipping out like, no, not 40 a day. That's an exaggeration. About 25 to 30 a day. So yes, we've been pumping these out and getting them out. I know this is the initial rush because we just launched on Thursday, so it'll get a lot easier. But come this weekend, my goal is to get all our products, our new accessories online, which is all of the crystals and everything. And then making sure that I give you guys a quick message and email out to tell you what's new, what's live. By the way, if you guys, I'm going to be adding these, by the way, too, to the site. I love these little pearl spacers, especially for like the little star items like that. I love that little space it gives so that you can do your stuff, add in your items. By default, this comes with a key ring. You don't have to use it like this. I wouldn't recommend it. I would still use a bail bead to have it stick out, just like I did on the other ones. I'm just doing this for right now because I want to get to show you guys how it's worked already. It already can work. Always add your branding, y'all. If you don't want to get these, you want to use DTF stickers, please, 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 please get your branding on your designs. Because I can guarantee if the person who bought it from you maybe doesn't recall the name of your business at that point, your pen speaks volumes. They will, if somebody goes, oh my God, can I see your pen? It looks so cute. They're going to see your logo. They're going to see your information. Oh, is this where you got it from? Chibi Charms? Oh, yeah. That's where I got it from. That's the one. And now you just got a referral. Guess how many pens you've probably sold that nobody remembers either who they got it from or somebody sees it and it's just like, okay, cool. That's a cool. I love the pen, but they don't think to ask who designed it because they don't see it right away. So there's sites. I'm going to share the links on the article site. I can't say specifically the sites because then the video will get hit with a violation. I'm not doing that. So I will be sharing it on the replay that I post on my article site. Click the link in my bio. It'll take you to my article site. You sign up for free. You'll get the notification tomorrow when I post the article. Like I said, I post this entire video. So you get to see everything. If you missed anything, you got to step away, come back. You can rewatch it on there. The full transcripts on there. The article, I created like a summarized article with all the links of everything that I talked about on there. And it'll be for free on the site. I pin it onto the homepage of the site. All right. So like I said, I'm just trying to add like little things here and there. I'm not trying to go too crazy because I want you guys to see the process. I still need another bead. I'm going to add another bead. Once we're done with this, I am going to attach the characters so you can see. And they're already pretty good on there. Now, give them the 24-hour cure time. Under normal circumstances, do not attempt what I'm going to do because I don't want your stuff getting messed up. I'm doing this for the purpose of the live just so that you can see that it does work. Give me another one. We'll do blue. I might need to get a different bead. Let me see. I have any smaller ones here? It's funny because I put away a ton of my beads, my secondary beads that I don't use. But it just so happens that every time I want to use something. Oh, here I found a cloud. Doesn't she do something with a cloud? I mean, literally, she was from my childhood, y'all. That's probably, I'm dating myself at this point. Actually, no, I'm keeping that because it'll match with the one we put under the foot. She's from my literal childhood. You'd think I know her. I actually had a doll of her. All right, we got that one and that one. You know what? We'll finish it with that. Let's add a cloud. That'll work. All right, I'm adding, put my branding down. I'm adding this one just so that you can see, you know, there's no stickiness, there's no tape, there's no magic that I do other than put that on there. Now this ain't moving, y'all. See what I mean? It's tight. We built it so that it can fit on there without you having to put glue on there. It's not moving. These don't shift. I'm literally holding them on and they're not moving. The cloud isn't moving. Look, I literally can open and close my pen from the top. So you can add glue if you want. I always recommend just put a little bit on the thread. Do not go crazy with the glue. And make sure that your glue is not such a huge blooming. And when I say blooming, I don't know if you guys know that term, but it's that white residue that comes up because like crazy glue is one of those that has a high blooming effect. If for whatever reason, this is just a design tip. If for whatever reason you're designing your character and you have some of the glue on there, do not use an alcohol wipe to wipe that away. Use a standard, you can use a standard napkin or whatever, but don't use any glue. Wait till it dries completely. And then if you want to take that extra residue out, you can, use a file or something. By the way, I stuck the file on there. This is a metal file. It's it's a magnetic file and it didn't come off, right? So here's our girl. Hello. I got stuck on here a little bit ago. Hello, y'all. What's up? I'm not going crazy, I promise. She's just so cute. But here we go. I'm writing. She's wiggling. I'm circling. She's having a party, y'all. All right. So I'm going to be careful when I take her off because I don't want to completely pull the magnet off. Remember, it still has to cure, but it didn't come off. Look at that. I want to give her my full 24-hour curing time. And here's our little interchangeable puppy, right? But you see the difference the pearl spacer makes. Now it matches. Look how awesomely spaced it is. So if you guys have questions around design, I can help you with that. And then you can obviously decorate. So I'm selling the actual system, sweetie, not just the magnets. The magnets that we have are built into our system, but you get the base bead, you get the wand design tool, which helps you hold on to your beads while you're designing it and you're not having to put it on your regular pens. It comes with the character stands. So if I'm using the doggy, I can have her on one of the stands like a standard collectible. Okay. We want to make these into collectibles. They will sell faster as collectibles. People want to have the opportunities. Yes, I have 15 different colors of the sugar rhinestones. I've got, when I tell you guys I have a mass amount of colors and options and things, legit, I have, and I still have a bunch in bags that I have to bag. But yes, I have them. I have all of the base beads. I've got and this is just part of it, y'all. The rest are over here. So when I tell you, please create your stuff, this is why this is my business. I have the base items for you to create what you need for your collections, especially if you're prototyping your designs. That's legit what I have. So I don't just sell wholesale beads or any of that kind of stuff. That's a thing of the past. We're building collectibles, not bulk. I don't want you guys, oh my God, I was writing on my mat. Look at that. We need to get back out of that mentality that everything has to be bought in bulk. When you guys are designing and building your collections, the first thing you need to do after you figure out your target market, you got to build a prototype. Do not sit there and build out an entire collection and 10 versions of that collection hoping that you sell it. When I sold you guys this kit, I had a handful of them. I have all the supplies to build a bunch, but I was just like, even if I don't sell it, I can still use it and make collections myself, right? You can prepare for the best case and the worst case, but I validated it with you guys. Can you use B7000? So you can use B7000 just like, this is a standard base speed, y'all. This is not, there's nothing crazy about it. So if you use B7000 for your sugar rhinestones, for your crystals, for your flowers, you can use it. What you'll learn through the training is be careful. Just don't make whatever your embellishments are. This surface has to remain flat to have it be its most effective, right? That just goes without saying. You don't want to cover the one thing that holds your character in place. It's why we also want to make sure that this is our creation tape. So this one has the creation tape on it. That's these that I have with the sugar rhinestones already on it. I have 2 different versions, but yeah, this is part of that process. Like, you can legitimately, sell this character as a set. All of this you can do with, by the way, this kit, right? Because there's the 1 base speed, your 1 character stand, your magnet that goes on your 2 characters. You just have to supply the characters and your standard beads. And even the little pearl spacers, I include a free pack for you guys as part of your reward upgrade for supporting me during launch. So that's the process. We got to get out of the mentality that's one character per pen. People want this kind of see, look at this. This thing that's what I'm saying. It's a strong magnet. This thing is collectible. This thing is worth more than your standard pens. We both might have spent the same amount of money on the items, but the value that my design drives versus somebody else's, completely game changing. So the base speed already has the magnet integrated. This is what our patent pending system is. It's already integrated in there. The hole is in place. It's a blank. I call it a base speed because it doesn't have any particular color, effects, or anything. It's made so that you build on it just like you would if you were designing any of your other beads. You can add creation tape around it so that you can decorate it quickly. That is one of the things, like everything that I offer in my shop is to help you build and design your own collection. The thing that you're going to offer that only you as a bead crafter can offer your customer. And you have to know who your customer is, who that target market is. So I'm just showing it to you from this clear perspective so that you can see there's no adhesives or anything on there. This is the system working as it is. Do you sell just the base bead with magnet? Yeah, so you can get the kit itself just starts you off. But I do have expansion packs. So if you want additional magnetic base beads or the character packs, I sell those so you can keep adding on. One thing to keep in mind, please do not just buy this one, like the magnet base bead, and use refrigerator magnets to attach to this. It won't work. The refrigerator magnets are garbage in comparison to what we do. It's not the same by any means. That is one of the reasons why our magnets are housed in their own little space. It's not just because I wanted to spend extra money and time doing this. It's because they require that level of separation. We can't have them stuck together because when you try to take those 2 apart, it'll hurt to try to take them apart. So they are very strong, y'all. But everything works if you get it from us because that's how we built the system. It's the patent pending system. All right. So I hope this helped you guys, see this part of it. The other part that I wanted to talk about today was design, right? Not just your pens, not just the fact that they're collectibles. Oh, of course. Crafty girl, by all means. I invite you guys to. I think I've posted like 3 videos. One on my birthday, one before my birthday, and one just as recent, I think, as the last, prior to the last TikTok live that I did. I want you guys to ask questions. Please feel free to reach out to me. If I have the opportunity to respond right away, trust me, I do. If I don't, I'll make a mental note to, and I don't just say a mental note, I will make sure to respond to you and add reminders if I need to. Possibly follow me so I can get in contact with you. Yeah, I will. Yeah, crafty girl will connect. So keep that in mind, y'all. You have the ability to create this awesomeness, but now we got to take it another step. Why do we have to take it another step, Sasha? Because we want to be unique in this market and sea of everybody doing the same thing. Okay. What sticks out about my set here isn't just the fact that I have a pen, isn't just the fact that I have a character. You're offering an entire collectible to you're offering them an entire collectible. You're giving them the opportunity to display this beautiful thing that they got from you. You're branding, right? We are branding our work, y'all. I don't want to see any more of these pens that do not have our branding on them, okay? I've shared the link to this thing like 50 times already at this point, but even if you add a DTF, like UV DTF sticker on a bead, I don't care. Do something. I could have put a UV DTF sticker with my logo right behind him so that people knew who designed it if I didn't use the bail bead charm, okay? You have the opportunity to make this yours and continue letting the pen market for you, all right? Keep that in mind. So when I created this, it wasn't just to sell you guys a magnet system, okay? That's not what it is. We're creating collectibles. We're creating an actual way for people to want to purchase more and more and more, because guess what? Our system is not only unique, it's collectible and fun. People do this they buy collectibles for the satisfaction. It's not just because it's cool to have. Well, yeah, it is cool to have, but you guys get the point, right? We don't sit there and buy our purses because, Jane down the road is doing it. We do it because we love them. We love the colors. We love the uniqueness. We love that tomorrow I can grab a different purse out of my closet. I have an assortment, as you probably saw, of my Hello Kitty bags. Y'all, I don't use the same bag every day for that reason, because I have my collectibles, and I have more than that, by the way, because that's just my OCD. But it is how you have to understand the market. You're gonna have to shift the way you think about these. So, it doesn't come with the. So yeah. So if you get the kit, I just got a separate question altogether. Not really. Oh, thank you, sweetie. So when you get the kit, you get the whole system. Not only do you get the base bead, you get the character pack, or excuse me, the character set, the character stands, and the design wand. As a starter, this is where you should begin because it includes everything, okay? I have the expansion packs, which gives you the additional character stands and the magnets. And then in a separate bundle, I have the base magnet beads, which gives you 5 of these. So there's a reason I did that. You might have a collection series, right? I might have a series where it's not just that I'm selling off these 2 guys, right? I could have her. Here we go. I could include in my mystery bag of collection for this series the whole crew that comes with that set. Okay? I'm not just talking about doing 1 or 2 characters. That's why we did this system. I want you guys to sell collectible pens. things that people are going to pay you a ton of money over and over and over to buy. Okay? You can do your own characters. If you want to do dragons, butterflies, flowers, you can do that with these now. I literally could grab this during Halloween and Christmas time and offer mystery bag versions. You get one pen, one character. Every additional character pack comes with a stand and the character. I'm not charging you $2 for this character. I'm not charging you $10 for this pen. This is a collectible series. Guys, I even have a calculator that I gave you for free on my article site so that you know how to price your stuff out. That's the difference between my content and everybody else's. I don't just show you how to create cool stuff. I want you to look at your business as a business, not a hobby. This is a business. Where someone asks, which characters do I still need to complete my collection? Yep. And guess what? You mystery bag these, well, just like they would go to any brick and mortar store, buy a pack. There's 7 in the set. Collect them all. Like, I don't care how you want how you want to pose it, but you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm trying to show you guys. You don't have to just do 2, especially for those of you who bought a ton of inventory, like up front a while back, or even just as recent as, a month ago or whatever, and you're looking at your inventory and you're like, how do I even get rid of this? Like, how do I sell this? This is one of the best ways you can sell this. And it doesn't have to just be even from the same characters, guys. There's themes and collections you could do with everything. If I had her, if I had Strawberry Girl, if I had, insert the bear with the care, if you know what I mean, right? I can make an entire 80s collection. You guys, I'm getting, like, everything I'm dropping today is pure freaking gold. Like, these are things I know for a fact not many of you, if any, thought about when you did this. You can create your own collection and people will keep buying because, oh my God, she's got the nostalgia collection. She's got the 80s throwback, right? I could do 8-bit version of him, the super version of him, the galaxy version of him. Think about it. And the stuff is available. You guys can make your butterflies of different designs. Like, that's why I have my base beads that are blank butterflies. You can go after the target market of people who love butterflies. Guess what? There's literally, hundreds, thousands of species of butterflies. Pick one, make it the collection of the month. Now you have a monthly subscription service. People can buy your butterfly of the month to attach to their pen. It's a game changer when you start looking at your business differently. This is not just a cute pen. This is not a character on a magnet. This is a legit collectible series. People will subscribe to you and buy. Like, we do it all the time with perfumes. We do it all the time with clothes. We do it all the time with water, right? I have a Circle subscription and pay a lot more than I should for a freaking, water bottle. But guess what? The convenience is there. The awesomeness is there that I can try all these different flavors. And if I don't like it, I can go on to the next one the next month. Obviously, they don't eat these, but I'm going to collect the series that I want. And if my awesome base pen fits the aesthetic for that, or hey, every month, I'm going to just get an awesome pen with a character and the ability to upgrade to get 2, 3, 4 character mystery packs. Insane. Exactly. Darla has it on point right there. It's not only guaranteed income, it's income while you sleep. And I know you guys have probably heard millions of people say this, but this is what they're talking about. I don't have to sit here on a live. Like, I literally do this live once a week. The other live that I do is for my paid article site subscribers, and we do a legit business call. Ask any of them that are on here. I don't sit here and build for them. Like, we don't sit there and do building. We legit talk business. We talk strategy, how to get your items in front of the people that you're targeting, how to find them, how to sell to them so that you're not trying to do Cash Apps and Venmos and, Zells compromising your banking. I did an entire video on this. And on top of that, I had somebody else reach out to me just this week alone asking me, hey, somebody's doing this legit. And I was like, yes, red flags. She went back to talk to that person. They were gone. But guess what? Before they left, she saw that the messages they were asking her to send screenshots of her stuff. The exact same thing I mentioned in my video. I don't say these things just because I what's that called? I want clout or any of that kind of stuff. I did this because I have a passion for crafting and I didn't want to see other people get screwed out of their money and continuously feel like they have to buy in bulk just to be able to build something amazing. So, yeah, exactly. Blumora, so I am going to share this entire recording on my article site. So if you click the link in my bio, top of my bio, there's two little links. One goes to the shop, one goes to this article site. I can't mention it here because then I'll get the violation, whatever. So I click on that. You can sign up for free. It gives you access to this replay tomorrow. I'll include all the links and all the information, but you'll get to watch it even if you got here a little late or you just jumped in. But we talk about how we can actually create collectible series from our bead pens that work with each other, that are interactive and interchangeable regardless of the character, regardless of the pen design. Like I could use this one with Zero. I can use this pen, which you guys saw me create here live, with Jack. I can use this one with my other characters, okay? This is what keeps, Kathy, thank you so much, sweetie, for your order. This is what keeps people buying from you, okay? They won't have a need to go search for anybody else because they have you. So understand. And you know why they have you? Because you learned that they were your target market, that they love what you sell because you intentionally made it that way. It wasn't that they just happened to find you. It's because you spoke their language, because you actually sold what they wanted, right? All of this interchanges. If this was my monthly pen, and I got this one in December, right, to commemorate the Nightmare series, and I got this one in January, I can still interchange my stuff. And we glued this little girl, what, like an hour and a half ago? Yeah, so I talk about all of that, Darkest Dream. I literally just did the first part of the 3-part series for the e-commerce. I walk you through it. So that's part of the that's part of my paid subscriber on the article site. It's literally $8 a month. Like, I'm not trying to gouge you guys. That is part of that service. So that is part of the only reason why I charge for that. But it is a weekly call that we do on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 Eastern. And the first part we did was on an e-commerce site, how to set it up. I gave you guys like specifics on the first things that you should do. And the second and third parts are going to cover more in-depth design. Oh, excuse me. The design aspects, setting up the shop to be able to be easy for your customers to navigate, setting up your payment stuff. Like that way you're not trying to always, any chance, Senna or Miko? Well, you can build whatever you want. I don't, so I show you guys how to do this. If I sell these, I will sell them in person. I won't put them on my site just because it doesn't match what I'm selling for my target market. I have character duo sets that I offer. So like these little guys are a character duo set that I offer that are turnkey. So they'll come with, it'll be these two. It'll come with an actual case, right? And I have like, I may be like the only vendor that has all of the different colors. I have a ton of different colors of these cases and the matching bases. So they would go in there and they're turnkey. So like you legit sell it to your customer that way. Pop them in there. They're floating displays. Nope, pop your thingy there. There we go. And you get the characters, the case, the stand, and two character stands and a base bead. So like all you need to do is provide your beads and a pen and design this one, and you have a turnkey collection. So, and they're super affordable, honestly, for the amount of stuff you get. So yeah, I have like different colors, because when you guys start doing your character series and you want to do the collections and sell them for a premium price, your packaging has to be on point. Okay. I took the time. I put creation tape, by the way. That's creation tape. And if you don't know what creation tape is, it's this kind of tape. This is my 1 centimeter. We offer this as well. I have all the different sizes. But I used the 1 centimeter. It lined up perfectly. I made room for the legs because the rectangle ones have these kind of legs. So I made room for it. But I used standard blank tape. And then I have, like I said, 15 different sugar colors. So I did the ones that matched great with Rainbow Road. I think it came out so cute. So you guys have to, look at that aspect as well. When you're designing, you got to step up your packaging. You want people to pay those premium prices. Everything's got to look. Think about it. Think about the last time you went and bought an expensive bag or an expensive pair of shoes. If they just stuck them in a paper bag, would you have bought them at the premium price that you paid for it? No. If your Labubu came in a Mylar bag that was see-through, would you have thought that it was legit? No. It came sealed in a box with a, special piece of tape on it. It came in a bag that was branded with everything for that company. Y'all, there's a reason you pay those prices. It's because it's collectible. It's worth it to have it at the end. And you guys can make these all your own, okay? I don't have every single one of these characters in the same condition that I purchased them. So whether you get them from me or you get them from somebody else, you have the ability to style it how you want. All right, let me show you. So if I put this back up here, I added rhinestones. I added the embellishments, the rhinestones on there. That's not how this came, right? This one has them on all of it. So these would be my super rare because they've got all the cute blingy, right? But I have the series. Someone can buy the entire series for a premium price, or I could sell it off as one individual set. But I guarantee you will find that one person that wants to collect them all and is going to pay everything for it because, their father loves that. Their husband is a collector and loves it. I actually had somebody ask me that. They were like, are you going to sell it? I'm like, nope. Because it is my original prototype design. I cannot sell it. And by the way, like I said, it's the most unique one because it is the only one with the reverse polarity to everything that you guys have. So everyone gets the same polarity, but this is the only one with the reverse one. And by the way, if you are using these, if you have like a blow dryer or like a heat gun or something, and you just want to, let's say you put a bigger character in here, but then you changed your mind and now you want to put a smaller one like I did here, you can use a heat gun or what's that called? A blow dryer. And it's like that shrink wrap paper. So it will pop back to normal. So that's a heads up. Because I include that kind of training in there as well for these. But yeah, you can take your designs to the next level. You don't have to keep any of your display cases standard. You know, you can, if you wanted to rhinestone them, you're welcome to do that. I wouldn't recommend that. That's just a lot of time for a plastic case. You know, sugar rhinestones and creation tape, boom, you dip it, you're done. That's awesome. That's worth it. But yeah, this whole series now, like I can interchange and pick them up and shake them, and they're not going to go flying. Make sure to keep the weight of the character to the ideal 0.6 ounces and below. Anything higher than that, and they will, you know, that magnet can only hold so much. But on top of that, I built it with this weight capacity for a reason. And if you didn't hear me at the beginning when I said it, it's important you understand when you're creating pens, a lot of people, probably 90% to 99% of the people that buy these from you want to actually use it as a pen. They don't want to just have a decor piece on their in their room or in their office. They want to actively use it. If you build something that where the entire pen weighs more than 1.5 ounces, yes, ounces, it will hurt someone's hand to use it. Your hand hurts because you're basically putting all the weight of that pen towards this part of your, you don't have a bunch of muscles here. You know, so your hand can't withstand holding a bunch like something like that for a long period of time and writing it. It's why I also give you guys the guidelines in the training where I say the bigger the character, the smaller the rod to balance out your pens. Right? You don't want a pen that's like 5 feet long. It would be impossible for them to write with it. So always keep your customer in mind. It's not just what you think is cute and what you think may be practical. Build a prototype of it and write with it. Test it. Does it hurt your hand? Well, maybe that big old fancy bead that's in the middle needs to come out and you need to use something that's a little more lightweight. Because if not, they're not going to want to use it. They'll say, oh, it's pretty, but it hurts my hand to write with it. Do you think they're ever going to want to buy something again from you if it hurts them to use it? No. They're just going to chalk it up to, well, I made a bad purchase. I'll move on. How many times haven't we done that? Because the person who designed the product didn't think about the customer. They thought about what they thought was cool just from a design and not a practicality perspective. Always test your designs out, y'all. Make that your number one priority. Apart from knowing who you're selling to, test it out for actual usability. Don't just create it for the sake of creating it because it's so ostentatious that people are going to be like, oh my God, I have to have that. Yeah. But then when they go to write with it, they're going to hate it. Now, does anybody have any other questions? Is there anything else you guys wanted to see? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate it. I just got an order in from Esmeralda. Thank you so much, Esmeralda. Thank you. Love the support, guys. The kits are available on the homepage of the site. Like I said, we just launched last Thursday. We're still in launch week. So if you do get it, you get our awesome card pack and a 10 pack of pearl spacer beads, the 14 millimeter, which you guys saw. These right here. And it's the same ones that are on the characters that we put on live, right? All of these here. Where's my crew? Look at that. I'm already got her packaged. I started at 8 o'clock. I didn't start working on her, I think, until 8:30. I'll have to look back. But like legit. Oh yeah, glitz. Girl, there was somebody that legit, and I'm no joke. Like there was even a comedian who made a funny joke and like made like this fake paper looking pen. It was like, y'all need to stop. He literally put like a box like this on the bottom of a bead rod and was like, y'all need to stop creating pens that look like this. And I was laughing my butt off because I've literally seen that. There's like entire infrastructures on top of a pen. Cool. It looks great. It's unique because it's got this cool stuff. If I was collecting a figurine, awesome. But as a writing tool, that's impossible to use. And I'm not going to spend a ton of money wanting to show off a writing tool at work or at my office or at my school if I can barely use the thing. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't pay for it. It's not to say somebody won't, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose a ton of sales because something like this is a lot easier to hold. So, yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah. 3D printed is awesome. Like these are lightweight. These are like, I don't know what that's called. It's almost like a plastic, but it's like that hollowish plastic, but it's got the fleece on it, so it's really nice. But they're super lightweight. Even this is this is silicone, by the way, and it holds with the magnet. Why? Because of our freaking glue. I love this glue, by the way. By the way, we were the ones that discovered that it works great with silicone. It is the only glue that gives silicone hold, so that your rhinestones, like they're all impact resistant and everything. Stop talking about me. I just made a big Alice. Oh my goodness. The funny thing is that, like I said, we designed it because we think it looks awesome and it's amazing and people are going to want to buy it. But at the end of the day, if they're buying something for practical use, it has to be usable. So yeah. And Toxic Era, look, she made the cutest. Hold on, I'm going to share it with you guys. Where is he? I have him here in my character thingy. Oh, where's my character stuff? Oh, it's right here. I got my 3D Chibi Charms design. So this is a cute little 3D character. Perfect for the pens. Perfect for the pens. And that was from the Toxic Era. By the way, she made our awesome 3D Chibi Charms. I still have to decorate it. I know. That's on me. Oh, love it. I have stuff. We post our character duos on... I'm going to start posting them on Fridays. Just have them up there. But we do sell out of those pretty quickly. But I drop them on Fridays so that you guys can see them. Like some of my upcoming character duos are going to be like these here. And these are all the collections that I had. So it's just now my system works with them. The duos, meaning you get a turnkey system. I don't sell them on pens. No. I sell you the characters ready to go so that if you want to sell them as part of your collection stuff to whoever you're crafting for, it comes with the magnet, like our base bead, which has the built-in patent pending magnet. It's got the characters, a display case, the stand, and the and two standard character stands. So yeah, it comes with like, here, let me see if I have, no, I don't have another one here to show. But yeah, it comes with it. So I have pictures up on the site. If you look up the character duos, it's all in the same Chibi SnapCharm system. So there's the system itself, like the base system for the magnetic stuff. I've got the 2 expansion packs, one which is the expansion packs for the magnet bases, and then the character packs, which come with 10 of the magnets for the characters and 10 of the character stands. God, if I could remember that. And then the 4th thing is our character duos. So we pair up really cool characters. Sometimes we'll have trios on there, like there'll be a trio set. So that'll be an option there. And we're going to be adding our little book bags on there pretty soon. And these are the light up ones. They work as well on the pens. And you can write. And now you can have interactive light up. Little cute light up. Chibis. Little characters. So the next one I'm adding is going to be the fidgets. So those, yes, Heidi. So like I said, you guys have options now, like legit, right? Boom, I'm done with my book bag. It's on to him. It's on to Jack. It's on to her, the kitty. It's on to Zero. Like, tell me this wouldn't be cool if you saw it at a craft show. Tell me this wouldn't be cool if you did your TikTok lives with this kind of action and you sold your collections to your audience, to your target market. You'd be the buzz. You would be selling out at shows because people are like, oh my God, I have to have the series. Dude, I go to MegaCon and I see that all the time. Why? Because I'm one of the suckers that falls for that kind of stuff. But when I go to MegaCon, I make sure I budget. I don't pretend to go there with like $100. I legit go with my budget because I know the sucker that I am for my Hello Kitty stuff. When I tell you that I actually walked up to some guy's booth because he had the most unique, cool looking thing. It was like canvas design that he created. And I wanted that one, but in the bigger size. And he only had it for his display. He's like, I'll give you her plus the other display that's attached. And he gave it to me as part of that one price. I was like, I got two for the price of one. I'm so excited. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I spent $90 on that. And like $30 on stickers, like legit. Like, people will spend on their money on the things that they love. They don't care about getting what, like they don't care about the financial aspect of it because it's something that they love. When you work hard and you make your money and you got adult money now, like you do, like just like I can't tell you guys not to go on and buy a ton of wholesale stuff. You're gonna do what you're going to do. I can give you the advice and tell you do that after you've decided what you're going to buy, right? And what you're going to design. At that point, when you know who you're marketing to and you built a prototype and they want it, throw your money. Let's go. Give me all my stuff wholesale. Fine. Fantastic. Wholesalers are a dime a dozen. You can search them easily here on this app. Everywhere. You scroll. Once you start going down Beadcraft Road, you're going to see that every single thing it's like wholesaler here, lives here. They're everywhere. But what isn't everywhere is you understanding how you're going to sell your stuff to the right people that are willing to pay premium prices for it. I teach you that. I help you with that. I guide you with that. That's part of why I love innovating something like this because it killed me to know that there were people that were like, I have thousands of dollars worth of stuff in my craft closet. I can't even walk into my craft room because it's so full of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to sell all of this. So my problem solving brain was like, okay, let me figure out a way that I could sell something in a bigger quantity without having to hawk a pen at a time. That's where this was born from. It was literally me trying to solve the biggest issue we have in this industry. So, how much would you sell the pens for? Well, it depends how much you're looking, number one, to make from it on your net profit percentage and how much you spent on it. So the reason I say it depends is because a pen that's depending on the characters and my collection, they can vary. So I created a calculator on that article site. And I know I keep mentioning, but I can't say specifically. If you click the link in my bio, go to the site, it's on there. It's under my tools and resources. It is I give it to you guys for free. I'm not sitting there charging you guys for every resource I'm giving you. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the people who least, what is it? How do I say that? I am one of the people who gatekeeps the least, if any. Like, I can't give you my specific patent pending information, but I will give you the links to everything else that I've done, that I've shown you. All the links to like the branding stuff. Where's my, I already put my pen away, right? The place where I got my little branding charms. Like, I will give you all of that. I want to see you guys succeed. I don't want to see anybody else feeling like they got to sell their pens at $5 a pop when I know how much those things cost you. It is defeating. It sucks to see that. It honestly hurts me to see that. And I don't know if it's just the empathetic person in me that feels like I need to solve like the world's problems, but It does hurt, because I was there at one point in my life when I went down that rabbit hole, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why is this business so hard? I've done other successful businesses. I've done other stuff that has been great for me. Why is this such a hard nut to crack? And it was because I was looking at it differently. I was looking at it as a crafter versus looking at it from a business perspective. Just like any other business, I need to have a brand. I need to have an idea of who I'm going to sell to. I need to have a plan in place with my branding, with my aesthetics, a website to sell it. I can't just go, oh, hey, everybody, I got like these pens and I hope you like them. That's literally everybody's mentality. They think if I show it, somebody's going to want to buy it. And I'm at the point where I'm going to coin the phrase, if you try to sell to everyone, you will sell to no one. I've literally said that in all my videos. You buy almost all my videos. You try to sell to everyone, you will sell to no one. Find a lane, stick to it, make sure that all your branding, all your marketing is in line with that target market, and you will make sales easily. Darla is like my golden child, because she's literally the first one who followed everything I said as she cracked the code. You know how she cracked the code? Because the code was literally revealed, and she just had to go, oh, let me step away from the collector mentality of I love this because I collected all of these little cute chibis, to, okay, this is my business. How do I sell this to the right people? Yes, it works because I help you guys step away from the I'm trying to help you step away from your customers' mentality, right? You want your customers to have that collector mentality. They're not the ones building this. They're not using this as a business. You are. You have to look at this as a business. You have to know the math behind how much your stuff costs to then price it out accordingly. You have to have a system in place to sell your stuff while you sleep. I don't expect someone who I'm trying to buy something professionally from to be sending me their Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App information. I see that kind of stuff and instantly I think scam. Not from you're the scammer. I mean, well, if I'm the buyer, I might be like, what if they just want to take my money and not send me anything? Because it works both ways. It's not just you guys thinking that someone's a scammer. It's the opposite could happen. But if you have a professional site, you have your branding in place, you've got all of your resources and your aesthetics and all your marketing, everything is aligned to that target market, you look like a legitimate business because you are acting like a legitimate business. You are doing what needs to be done, what every other brand does, every other successful business that wants to sell something has the same marketing and messaging. It's why I don't sell the completed pens. I'm not trying to compete with you guys. I'm trying to help you build your own business, find your own lanes. I've had people ask me, how much is that Yoshi? How much is no, I go find somebody who does that. Go find the creator who can do it. I will sell to my crafters the duos so they can go and sell it out to their market if that matches what their market wants. But I'm not going to compete with you guys. There's no point. That's not my target market. If I wanted that to be my target market, you would never have seen me here. I would have just invented this on my own and blown everybody out of the water. Think about that. Like, I could have done that, but that's not why I do this. I'm doing this because I want to help other people, because there's not just women in this industry. I want to help other people succeed and feel like, oh my God, I have a legitimate business. I have the ability to make income from this. All that stuff that I spent my money on collecting, guys, these are all things I've collected. This is not stuff that I literally bought yesterday or a week ago. I have had these little book bag dudes for at least 2 years. I got this little stitch from the Toxic Era just a few months ago when I got my sign. She gave this one as a gift to me for free. I can use it to sell it if I want to, but I'm not. Because I'm not looking to sell final creations. Like, he doesn't have the magnet though. I'm looking to help you guys create your own stuff, build, and then have an entire business that you can run and be successful in. You can even innovate like my husband did here with this. He used our magnet bead, put the magnet on the character, and put it on this. I got this at the lobby where the hobbies are. Yep. Oh yeah, no, I will. I will. But do you see what I'm talking about? Like, now you guys can actually create your stuff from it. Like, this has glue on it. He glued the actual back of it to it. And now look how unique that is. Look how awesome that is. You put that up like, oh, I want to switch my characters out. Boom. There's the other character. Look, no joke. Where's my, let me go. Oh, here you go. He's right here. It should be all part of the same. Look at that. How cool would that be to sell it like that? It doesn't even have to be on a bead pen. You want to sell it as a collectible for your bead pens? Cool. Sell it with your pen and have an art piece with it. Now they can switch it up and they can have on the painting and on the pen. Let your brain be creative. All I did was create a way for us to stand out. For our systems and for our collections to stand out. Everybody has a different style, design, thing that they love to do, right? I love the Sanrio brand. I love all of that. That's what I primarily had a ton of my supply of. But I wasn't marketing at that time to the right people. I was trying to do the same thing everybody else did. And when I literally sat down and separated myself from the cuties and said, okay, why is this so hard? It's because I wasn't thinking of it as a business. I was thinking of it as a collector. I was like, oh, I want this one. I want this one. I want this one. Well, if I have business fails, that's okay. I have like 20 of these that I can use throughout there's no way I would have ever used all of that ever in my lifetime. So yes, you guys can be creative. You have the permission to be creative. I wanted to make a system where you could sell the crap out of your collection because somebody out there loves what you have and what you purchased. Just put it in a system that makes it easy for them to want to keep collecting it. Which means now you have a legitimate business that will continue to sell. Right, Jack? Oh my goodness. And my husband is very proud of this one, by the way. He was just like, I have an idea. And the idea worked. This was one of my original prototypes. Let me show you. Because that was that was my reject bead because I didn't like the way it came out with the dots. I was like, oh, that's too big. And then I did that one. So there was 1.0 and then there's 2.0. That was the final one for that series. And then, of course, I added all like the rhinestones and all that to them. So, y'all, when I share this stuff with you, it's because I want you to succeed. I give you all this advice, all these tips, all this information because I want your brains to be like, oh my God, that just reminded me that I know all about blah, blah, blah target market. I know about all of the likes of this group of people, and they would love what I have to sell. They would love it. Well, guess what? Build them a prototype. Start putting your marketing out there. You don't want to be in front of a video? Don't. I actually showed Darla that you could use services like 11 Labs to create voices for your videos that match the aesthetic that you're trying to do. Right? I wouldn't sit there and be like, hey guys, I have this cute little... No, I'd have something that sounded similar to the aesthetic of that. If I didn't want to talk on my videos, if I didn't want to show my face, it has to match the aesthetic. So, and there's tons of templates on TikTok and all that stuff that let you do like little green screen effects. Like, it's literally up to your brains. And there's tons of training, tons of tutorials on how to do all of this stuff out there when it comes to your marketing. I even share marketing advice and tips and advice. I just wanted to build something that was easy for you guys to be able to move your inventory along and not feel like you were stuck with it forever. And now you can turn it into an actual revenue producing system that actually sells while you sleep. You don't have to sit there on lives 24/7 trying to sell a pen. You don't have to go to every craft show that exists in a 5-mile radius or 10-mile radius or 100-mile radius just to sell a pen. If you put it in front of the people that want it, they will buy it. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. Thank you guys for your awesome support. You guys saw our characters here come to life. We literally, from scratch, did all of it. We made, and they're part of this whole interchangeable system. So if I were to send any of these to you guys, and you got our kit, it would work. You could stick the characters to the pens because the polarity is all the same. We do have, like I said, the training. When you guys get your kits, if you haven't gotten them already, there is a sticker in here. If for whatever reason, God forbid, but that sticker's not there, I did email everyone who bought one. I'm only saying it because, you know, lots of sleepless nights trying to get all these done. If we missed one of those stickers, I doubt it, but I'm very like OCD about our packaging. But if for whatever reason it's not in there, hit me up. I will give you the direct link. But it also got emailed to you guys. I do my lives on TikToks every Thursday. And then I do a live call, which is all business focused on the art. I call it the article site. Flip the word stack and sub, if that makes sense. Flip those two words opposite direction. It's linked on the homepage of my site. If you go to my bio, I have tons of free content for my paid subscribers, which is $8 a month. I give them a live weekly call with me, and we focus on the business strategy side of things. We just started the series on creating a e-commerce site, and I give you an example of one that's fantastic to use, how to safeguard it so that you're not letting hackers get into it. I know a lot of people have had recent issues with it. There's a setting that you can make sure to help ensure that that's not going to happen. And then how to set it up, use the template, the design, how you should be designing it. Like literally we spent, God, how long, Darla, was it with the crew? I call them my Charmy Army Insiders, by the way. I have a WhatsApp group just for them. And for everybody who bought the kit, especially for the ones that had just recently bought it, I will be sending you guys an invite email to join the WhatsApp group that I have for the kit, for the starter kit buyers, because I am holding a masterclass in May where we're going to kind of deep dive like all of this. Like you're going to build with me as well. Not long enough. I know it was like almost 3 hours that we were on that call. But we literally walked through how to get the initial setup process going on the e-commerce site. Like we talk business on those calls. And that's, like I said, that's Tuesdays starting at 7 Eastern. And then I'm on TikTok Thursdays starting at 8 Eastern. Yeah, we were on 3 hours, but it's a 3-part series. So the only reason it's 3 hours because I literally break things down so much, because as a trainer, you learn. Not everybody learns the same way, right? You don't know the learning levels, the aspects, the tech, how tech savvy somebody is. So I like to break things down as granularly as I have to ensure that anybody that's watching, like if you don't care about it, you can fast forward it. But if you need to hear all those steps, you have access to that information. So I do those, like I said, Tuesdays are my article site live calls. And those are recorded and posted for my paid subscribers. And then the recaps and the full TikTok lives are on replay on that same site for all my subscribers. And that includes my free ones. And like I said, in the article portion of it, I include all of the links to any of the places. So like the link to where I got the little branding charms, like everything that I talked about, I give you links, where to get it, an overview of the discussion of what we talked about, including any tips and stuff that I shared. And it includes the full TikTok replay. So I want you guys to hear this information. It's important. I honestly feel like a lot of us don't talk about it enough. Well, there wasn't really much talk about it in the industry at all, really. I can honestly say I think I'm the first one who called it out and was like, "Yo, we gotta shift our mentality from collecting thousands of dollars of stuff." Where is that? Oh, so link in my bio. When you go to here, I'm gonna use my iPad. I'm going to use my iPad to show you guys because I'm on my phone. All right, 1 second. Okay. There's my link in my bio. You're going to click the link in my bio. You're going to hit open because that's their whatchamathingy. On here, I have Shop the Studio. That's not the article site. This is the article site. Enter the studio. When you go there, it's going to say, hey, subscribe. Please, if you're not a free subscriber, just enter your information because that is how you get access to the articles. You can say no thanks and it'll take you to the site, but you're not going to be real, like the paid subscriber stuff, you won't be able to see. Yeah, sweetie, so if that's the thing, if you guys turned off your marketing, you wouldn't have gotten my marketing email, but I will be reaching out to you individually to give you the link for the WhatsApp group. That's for everybody who bought the kit. If you just bought the kit today, give me a little bit after the meeting here and I will send it out to you. But yeah, I have everything here. Like this is the entire article site, like everything, like stop buying expensive focal beads, build your own, the step-by-step tutorials. Like I gave you all the resources, all the, the glues, the everything. And it's all on there. Oh, let me go back to it. 1 second. Doop. Doop. There we go. There's all the studio sessions. Here's the one. This is the article under tools and resources to get your calculator. I go through the entire process. Get your calculator. You will need to sign up for free just to access but it's free. I give it to my free subscribers. I give you information on how to use the profit calculator. And it is a calculator on Google Sheets that you can use, make a copy of it, and make it your own. I literally break everything down on packaging, what your materials cost, how much does your shipping, how much do you get charged by your payment processor? Like that is all in there, and I offer it for free. I want to see you guys succeed. I'm not trying to nickel and dime you. I'm just trying to show you a different way of working with your business where it doesn't have to be buying every bulk bead and wholesale bead thing that you see on live streams. That's not the way to do it. When you get to that point, that means you already know who you're selling to. You have your prototype done. You've validated it with your market. So the market says, man, I want that. Now you build it. Now you go ahead and source all your materials. Especially like if you're one of those people who wants to sell in the target market of parties, baby showers, weddings. Y'all, you'd lose your money quickly if you decided you wanted to buy every color that exists under the sun of every bead out there that you can create for your pens just to create samples. You don't have to do that. And on top of that, when you accept your deposits for these bigger party type items, that's when you go, okay, I already know who I'm working with. Let me buy my stuff wholesale because somebody now placed an order. And that deposit needs to cover the cost of your items. It can't be like, let me just do a 50% deposit and I'll just front the cash. No. Stop getting into that mentality. Your customers are not your besties. They are customers. If they expect a service from you, you have to charge accordingly. So if you're in that kind of market, you have to understand when you're in like that party target market, you build one for your marketing, for your site. You build the pen, right? Or the design or the bundle, whatever you're offering, you build it for your marketing. And then you go, oh, hey, I can offer it in this color, this color, this color. Get a swatch from your wholesaler, your vendor. Get a sample from them before they become your actual vendor. See the quality. What's their shipping time? Like all of this stuff, I can assure you, you probably didn't even think about. But it's the experience I have that I give you guys day in and day out. So this site's going to be where I share a lot of the business side of things when it comes to anything that talks about this business. This is literally all this is very business focused. And I do share obviously some build tutorials and stuff like that. But on our weekly Tuesday call, that starts at 7 Eastern. That's for the paid subscribers of this. And like I said, we talk all business. Yeah, so this is another one where we did this one. We did on March 31st. That was content that converts, turning views into sales on TikTok. Like we legit, I think that was, if I had to say, I think that was one of the ones, Darla, where you were like, oh my God. Like you were hitting your haha moments like left and right. So yes, y'all. I don't want you to look at this and go, oh my gosh, she sells like a really cool thing. No. I'm trying to help you differentiate yourself from the everybody else crowd. And on top of that, make sure that you have a target market when you're doing this. Yes. So Sean, it's going to be on that same article site. When I post this video, I'll share it, but it was on the one from last week. I did it. Where's my... Oh, this is most popular. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull these up. Yep. So this is the live that we did on last week on Thursday. You go away, Sasha. Give me 1 second. I love myself, but I'm not right now. So see what I mean? Like I literally have like this. There's a starter kit. There's your expansion packs. There's your branding charms. I link it there. I don't get anything from that link, y'all. I just make it easy for you to find the information on this site because I can't mention it here. This place here doesn't like all of this stuff. So I have to share it on this site. And it is free. So just sign up for it so that you can get access. All of the links are here. I can't say this stuff when I'm on a live show. I've learned my lesson. We get the violations if we do that. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Stop lowering your prices, y'all. You know, it's so funny because we learned this year, you know, what the differences are between luxury brands and the people who manufacture them because, you know, there was that whole war online that happened. It doesn't stop people from still spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for brands because they love the quality. They love what the brand represents. That's what I want them to see with your items. I want them to look at your collections and go, oh my God, I have to have that. She's my girl. She's the one that has my collection. She knows what I love. You know why she knows what you love? Because she did that on purpose. She knew that was the market she wanted. She learned that market and created all of her stuff for that market. So, all right, my loves, I am going to call it a night. I think, you know, you guys got to see everything in person, the full process. Like I said, I have all the training for you so you can go through your training. It's literally linked inside. Oh, yeah, that's the kit. It's linked inside the kit, QR code mode, or the actual URL is right there. There's no login required, none of that stuff. I definitely want you guys to have full access to this information. You have full access to me. You guys know this because those of you who have reached out know that I do respond. I provide you with information. If I can't respond quickly or right away, it's probably because I'm either fulfilling an order or working. Because I do love my 9 to 5. It's my passion. I love training and I love the industry that I work with. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for the awesome support. Thank you to everyone who placed an order tonight. And I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. I absolutely love you. When I tell you that, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I want to see you succeed. This is my goal in life. Thank you guys so much. Love you, love you. Have a great night. I will post more videos. By the way, I got a ton of videos to post for all of the people who have their TikTok names on their orders. Like I said, I don't want to flood it, so I'm just going to keep releasing them. You'll probably get your kits before your video post, but little by little, we'll get these out there. You're welcome, loves. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Take care. Good night. Say bye-bye, Rainbow Bride. Bye-bye. Bye, y'all.